Hey, what's going on my 46,000 amazing friends? I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic today. We're going to be talking about lighting, but specifically lighting a car scene. There are a few key techniques that you actually need to follow to make this a really good scene. And it really depends on obviously your story and lighting and what kind of gear you have, but I was working by myself. This is shot in my garage. So we'll have a quick look at the scene first, and then we're going to break it down step by step on what you need to follow, what you need to do, and some of the things that you really need to look out for when you are actually trying this. And I know this is going to help a lot of people out, but let's get into this scene. So what did you think? I think the lighting took me about maybe 1.5 to 2 hours to fully set up by myself. This is with no help in my garage. So I wanted to challenge myself and just leave the car exactly where it is and shoot this little scene. And what do you guys think? Yeah, I think it turned out pretty decent. There are a few things that I could have changed and I could do better next time, and I know to do better next time, but it is what it is. You know, sometimes you are pressed for time, sometimes you are pressed for the amount of gear that you've got. But I don't want gear to be a limiting factor for you guys, but unfortunately I did use a lot of lights for this scene, and I'm gonna explain the reasons why I use those lights and where I actually positioned some of these lights and some of the features that I used and some of the features that you should potentially be using as well. Now, one of the big things that comes down to lighting position. Now, when it comes to cinematography, a lot of cinematographers like to shoot on the dark side of the face. So trying to position the actor and in between you and the light is kind of a generic sort of thing to do when it comes to lighting a subject. So as you saw, the light was on the left-hand side of the subject, and I am shooting on the dark side, which is the right-hand side of the subject. So my key light in this scene was actually just a PavoTube 30C, just attached to the left-hand side of the car. Now, obviously, this is looking a little bit different because I am in Australia. We actually drive on the right-hand side. I know it's a little bit weird for you guys in the States that drive on the left-hand side. So just remember that we are on the right-hand side. So everything is shot on the opposite side. So all you need to do is flip it if you want to try and recreate this scene in your country. But if you are on a right-hand side driving country, then you can follow this scene pretty much step to step. So once you've got the key light on that one side of your actor, it is pretty good to use a backlight or a hair light. Now in this situation, I actually used the 60B with the projector mount. Now I only just received this, but it is really good because with the projector, you can specifically target the exact spot that you want to light, especially with the cutters on here as well. So you can really dial in exactly where you want to light the actor. Now for this instance, I wanted this to be pretty much just on Amber's hair and a little bit of the seat. Because I have black leather seats, they are almost black when you are lighting a dark scene. So you do want to illuminate them a little bit more. So trying to create a little bit of ambience is a good thing. Now, once I got those two lights there, I actually used the Nanlite 300B as a street lamp because I wanted a little bit of light coming in and out and making it look like she was actually physically driving. So the Nanlite 300B was actually set on pulsing. So I pulsed a 2700 Kelvin light just in and out very slowly, like she was going past street lights. So that just gave me a little bit of ambient light coming in through the right-hand side, which also gave me color contrasting. So on the left-hand side, my moonlight was only set to 5600, whereas the street lamp was 2700. So I've got that cool side on the left-hand side and the warm side on the right-hand side. So yes, I did actually use a projector on the left-hand side. So I had a full scrim on the left-hand side and projected an image onto the side. Now I did record that image a while ago, just driving down the street, pointing the camera outside and just getting a whole bunch of bokeh lights passing through because there isn't really much stock footage of just blurry lights passing through. It doesn't really need to have too much moving subjects. It just needs to have something moving from left to right of the screen, just to make it look like the car is relatively moving. Now, in terms of making it look like it's moving, you can actually push on the car just to shake it a little bit so the actor is moving a little bit. But it does help if you tell the actor to just do some little movements with their legs. So it actually makes it look like they're vibrating a little bit more, because you want those little micro jitters that a person, just imagine you're driving down the street. It's not perfectly smooth. I mean, unless you have some really, really good suspension and super smooth roads, but it's never really the case. So it's just those micro jitters that you need the actor to have just to make it a little bit more natural. Now, once those key lights are in, then you have to add filling lights in there as well, just to create a little bit more ambience. So your blacks aren't pure blacks. You need to raise those blacks just to make sure that you don't have too much grain in your shadows. But before that, I added a bit of rain. Now, rain was very simple to achieve in this situation. All I needed to do is get my hose, point it up in the sky, and just point it up and make it drop down a little bit. It was so simple, because that allowed me to put on the windscreen wipers to add a little bit more depth and element to my footage. And having rain at night is really cool in almost every situation. Rain just looks so cinematic. It's beautiful in nighttime situations. Now, rain does look best when it is backlit. So there was a light in the back seat pointing towards the front windscreen. Now, this one actually did illuminate the back seats a little bit. Like I said, I have black leather seats, and you just need a little bit of light for them to shine up and not be completely black. So that was illuminating the back seat, but also illuminating the front windscreen to backlight the rain and make the rain look like actual rain. Like, you don't need the rain to be completely obvious, but just enough to show that the audience that there is rain. And the windscreen wipers obviously do the job as well, and so does the sound design. Now, in terms of that street lamp, when that street lamp goes completely off, it would be technically completely dark on her left side of her face, or on the right side of the screen. So I added a little 15C tube on the right hand side, just to make sure that there was a little bit of ambient warm light coming through the window from that street lamp. It isn't completely realistic, and you don't necessarily need this, but like I said, you need to fill that ambience so the blacks aren't completely black. Because if you do want them black, all you need to do is drop the shadows in post, and you can do that in post, but trying to keep the shadows up as much as possible gives you more flexibility in your color grading, so you don't have as much grain, and you can drop that blacks if you really need to in post-production. Now, the same thing goes with the front ambience as well. If there's too much black on the front, then you need to raise a little bit ambient. So I actually did have another 15C tube just to light up a little bit of front dash and the actor's face as well, just to fill in some of those shadows, make sure, same again, that my blacks aren't completely black. Now, one tool that you definitely need when you are shooting through front windscreens or any kind of windows, because a window is a reflective surface, you're gonna need a polarizing filter. So the polarizing filter will actually take off all the reflectiveness of that glass, and you'll be able to see the actor much better. So having a circular polarizing filter is very crucial when shooting through these windows. Now, overall, that's pretty much the lighting situation that was actually there. The main thing that actually makes this come alive is the sound design. This is something that a lot of people don't put much time into, but makes a massive difference. So you need the sound design to match with all the visuals. So you need the car engine noise or road noise, you need the windscreen wiper noise, you need the rain noise, thunder, anything that you can think would be in that particular situation, you need to throw that in there and design that full scene completely with the sound, because there was obviously no sound recorded on the day. So I actually did full sound design of that whole scene. Now, if you do want to check out Epidemic Sound, the link will be in the description below, but they had pretty much every sound that I used in this video. So I had the radio sound, the windscreen wipers, the rain, the car driving, the braking sounds, the phone sounds, pretty much everything in that scene was all done through sound design in Epidemic Sound. So just before I actually shot this scene, I did actually set it up and test it myself. So I actually did one scene without rain completely, and you can see the difference it actually makes with the ambience and just the overall mood. So rain could actually be a really good option if you are doing something like this, just to add a little bit more element and a little bit more depth to the scene. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That would be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you already haven't. The link will be in the description below if you do want to check out some of these lights and attachments and bits and pieces that I actually used for this little scene. But yeah guys, other than that, I'll see you in the next one. All right, let's get it.